So today's masterclass is something quite deep and quite profound. And if we can grasp this in this 3D world, it brings a sense of completeness and wholeness. You don't heal by becoming someone new, you heal by loving who you've always been. And I'm just going to start with the self development world. And even though I'm in the self development world, and yes, I've done my life coaching and NLP certification, which I don't use, but I wanted to go and educate myself. Sometimes we're taught that we have to become new, you have to become new, because once you become new, you will be complete, you'll be whole, you'll be happy. Oh, it doesn't happen. And then people are searching to go, well, if I just and if I become, and if I have the money, and if, I will be whole and complete. So I'm just going to share it again. You don't heal by becoming someone new. You heal by loving who you've always been. This energy is quite huge. It's very much the energy of every time we're in a number 13 of the Millennium Grid. So 2013, 2026, 2039, 2052, etc. But it's also for all of our lives. Why? Well, you see, when we're striving to become someone new in this duality game, it sounds like that's when life is going to be amazing. But in the ancient teachings, when we're striving to become someone new, we're saying that there's something wrong with us, which is the furthest from the truth of the absolute. We're always going to grow and evolve. But what happens is when we grow and evolve, think of yourself as a tiny little seed. That seed, when you plant it, will grow into a shoot, will grow into a seedling, will grow into a plant, and then possibly a tree, and maybe a bush, maybe a forest, maybe a plantation. Like it is always evolving, but it's not new as such because that forest originally came from a little seed. And if we love that seed to begin with, then the forest actually flourishes, which is the same thing. So if I strive to be something new, what if we're saying something's wrong with us? We're in pain. We're not seeing the best of ourselves. We're not seeing that we're lovable. And that can create even more exacerbated pain. In mystery school, we would say isolation, separation. And that isolation, separation is from ourselves. And so if I don't heal by becoming someone new, then what do I do in the growth world and self-development and even being here on this masterclass? Well, it's not the newness. It is actually seeing the best of yourself. And if I love who I've always been, I will see all of my gifts, all of my challenges, all of my everything, so that I can embrace everything and go, oh my gosh, I'm going to take those aspects, even including past lives, if you want to call it past lives or whatever, because the body doesn't know it's past lives. So if I strive to become new, I'm going to go to the illusion we have in this 3D paradigm. It's from one of my modules, module 5, opening doors. So what happens is I've got to get new and I want to head over there, or I want to get the perfect cushion, or I want to lose the weight, or I want to leave work and go into business, or I want to go higher in my career. And then once I become new, oh my gosh, I am going to be so happy. I'm going to be complete. I'm going to be happy. It's going to be amazing. Is it? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But what happens is when we're here and we go racing over to there, guess what? There becomes a here. And then we say, wait, what else is there? I'll go over there. Once we go over there, there becomes here again. And there's never a satisfaction. That satisfaction of feeling whole and complete. What happens? is we never get to embrace loving who we've always been. But what about, Jean? I have gone from here to there and I have been better. Have you? Or has it been that while you've been here, I know this is kind of weird, but while you've been here and you thought you wanted to get there, you've been evolving and embracing who you've always been over here. And I'll give you examples. And you got there and yes, there became a here again. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you had a relationship. You're married to Frank. We'll just make names up. You're married to Frank, and you think, you know what? I can't do this anymore. You know, we've grown apart. Frank just doesn't like the things that I like anymore, and we've just grown apart. I love him, but not in love with him anymore. And so what happens is, do I want something new? Sometimes we can think so. We want to go and meet Harry, whoever Harry is. We'll go and meet Harry, and my life will be so much better because I had always had a vision of getting married and having 20,000 children and 20 million dogs and whatever else. What actually happens along the way if we follow the mystery school wisdom? I leave Frank, and in this journey of separation from Frank, I start to reflect on who am I? What do I want? What are my values? How I've grown? What needs I need? I actually look at all those things, which what that does is actually reflect back on I heal by loving who I've always been, but I forgot somewhere. I just forgot. It's not Frank's fault. We just grew apart. If we take the time, sometimes people do jump from relationship to relationship or job to job to job to job. And it's like, oh, that's it, that's it, that's it, that's it. Or from gym to gym to gym, or weight loss to weight loss to weight loss to weight loss. And they have never, ever loved who they've always been. So as I start to look at all those things that I said, I start to love who I've always been. You see, when I was with Frank, Frank would say, yeah, but you're not the girl I married. You've changed. You think you've got. Did I change or did I grow? And I'm just trying to connect with who I've always been, which is that lovable, loving, love. So along the way, as I've grown and evolved, and I've become new, because if I've grown and evolved, I embrace more of myself. So that's not new. It's actually back to the original part of me. It was born this way. And when we look at ourselves and we go, oh, yeah, you know what? I tend to be a bit passionate. I tend to be a bit wild. I tend to be a bit spontaneous. I tend to be a bit quiet. I tend to be, whatever those aspects of yourself are. If you embrace them all, go, oh, yeah, that's me as a package. Then, as you suddenly meet Harry, you are in love with you more and not reliant on them to actually love you. That's called self-empowerment. And so you don't heal by becoming someone new. But what about, and I'll use me as an example. So I left nursing and pathology and autopsies, all the medical system, to go over to the metaphysical side. Isn't that being something new, Jean? Didn't you do something completely new? Yes. No. Yes, it was, but no, it wasn't because that was always me. If I loved who I've always been, it's been into the woo woo, pet rocks and seeing dudes and all those sort of things. Always. And because I love myself enough, I went, okay, then express all of me. You don't heal by becoming someone new when suddenly you renovate the house and you go, oh, this is it. Or move house, this is it. If you don't actually love here and who you've always been. Because the external part, the relationships, the house, the job, the whatever, it's nice, but that's like eating the icing off the cake. Did you ever do that as a child? With the icing, not eat the cake? And when you eat the icing of the cake, it seems great, full of sugar. But what about the substance, the cake itself? So, how do I love who I've always been? I don't know who that is. Yeah, you do. You can easily take time this week. Who have you been in your good or bad times? But in Mr. School, we didn't have good or bad times. So it might be look at yourself of what you used to do as a kid. So me, as a child, I loved playing sport. I loved the outdoors. I loved drawing. I loved music. I loved shoes. Adored animals. Always adored animals. So that's always been who I am. And then there was a time I thought had to be new, which was don't be any of that. But then there'd be times that I would connect to it. So when I was really young and I was nursing, they had discotheques, dancing. So every night after work, I would know which disco was doing what and who, where it was, and all the rest. And I was really blessed. I always got free passes, and I just drank water. Back then, they didn't charge for water. I always just asked for water, and I danced all night. Never went to drink, never went to pick anybody up. Just wanted to dance. And I did. I danced on the dance floor by myself, with people, or whoever was there, and I got to know people. And so I danced. Then I stopped dancing. That created separation. Somewhere I thought I had to be new and not dance. And then it was like, I need to love who I've always been. I've always loved music, always. Used to play it, used to do it, guitar, drums, whatever else. I'm going back. But is it going back or is it loving who I've always been? And so some of you know and have done it with me. I will dance anywhere, anywhere. Why? Because that's who I am. I'm loving who I've always been. And someone else might come along and say, you're dancing in the middle of the city early in the morning. You're crazy. What will people think? Who cares? Because I love who I've always been, and that's dancing. And as I do that, guess what happens? It's the law of attraction and law of receiving. These people, things, and situations come in and they want to dance with me. And I've had some of you dance with me in Egypt, dance with me in the city, dance with me in the rain, dance with me when I climb mountain. It's like when we finish, dance time. Let's do it. Let's celebrate. So you don't heal by becoming someone new. Yes, you evolve and grow. That's completely different because you connect with the purest form of who you are. You understand what you like, what you want, what you value, and then you fertilize it. Remember the seed? And as you fertilize it and give it water and sun and the right conditions to grow, it's still the original seed. It pops up, seedling, and then it starts to flourish. And as it grows, it has flowers. It offers beauty to nature, maybe some ants, ladybird, maybe birds, maybe another animal, maybe a camel. They eat lots. And as it grows and grows, it remembers to love itself for who it's always been. But it hasn't become new. But Jean, it has. Now, from a seed, it's a tree, it's new. No, it's not. It's still connected to the original source of who it is. And that is the life. And in the human form, compared to a tree, what do you like? What do you always like? And this connects to when people say, if only, oh, as a kid, I loved. Why not do it? It's like me with the dancing and the music. Why not do it? What will people think? Who cares? Michael J. Fox says, what you think of me is none of my business. Our evolutionary process is to grow and evolve and flourish, just like feeding that seed, seedling, plant, bush, tree, forest, grow and evolve, but you're not actually becoming new. And you'll know because people will come up and say, have you lost weight? You've done something with your hair. Have you got a new job? What's going on with you? You actually start to shine that brilliance and radiate the most extraordinary energy. And things, people, situations come to you. In the Millennium Calendar, I talk about it comes to me. What comes? Everything. Friends, people, connection, beautiful weather. So you don't heal by becoming someone new because that creates pain, huge amounts of pain, especially in the 3D world, especially the striving and I've got to get it and prove it. And when you've got to prove, push, and pursue, which goes against the flow of the Venus energy, then it's pain. Because once you've pushed, proved, and pursued, a lot of people go, now what? Same with like goals. Celebrate your goal before you've even done it. Celebrate before it's happened. Those that have done the Millennium Calendar, you know. Because once you reach your goal, a lot of people, probably 99.99999% go, okay, done it. Yeah, okay, now what? Yeah, okay, what's next? What's next? Striving. Then what? Whereas you've heard the story in many of the self-development books. It's about the journey, not the end result. It's the same thing. And if you enjoy yourself along the way, who knows what will happen? Maybe absolute magic. People, things, and situations, environments all support you to actually love who you are and share who you are and celebrate who you are. You do. So you don't heal by becoming someone new. That's a 3D paradigm that creates pain and separation and isolation. You heal by loving who you've always been. Who knows the best? Kids, animals, plants, nature. It's the grown-ups that actually forget. So we're going to go into golden hearts, and the golden heart is your sharing. And it's not a nugget, it's in here. You drop into your heart of what did you hear from today? Share because everybody has wisdom. It's not just about me. And if you'd like to type it into the chat, put a Y next to it so I can actually say, yes, I'll read it. Put an N first. Oh, don't read it because I won't see that until the very end. I'll just read it. And your sharing is so valued and I really appreciate it. So we'll start with Lou, Andrew, and Kim. We might go to Andrew because Lou might not be able to unmute herself.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, so I love this one because it's a celebration of who you are. So loving who I've always been is a celebration of who I am, and as I celebrate, I love life. You know, I live and love my life fully, and it's important to have the courage to do that. You know, why am I afraid of being who I've always been? And so this morning I'd had some reflections of when I was a child and what I do love doing, and yeah, I want to do. There's a few that I want to do a little bit more of, so I can remember who I've always been. So thank you, Jean.
Thank you. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Talon. Kim.
Morning, everyone. Mine was about the reminder that it's the journey and not the end result, actually, you know, and being yourself, remembering to just enjoy every day.
So you guys have got the wisdom as well. I'm going to go to Pauline. She's had to leave, but she's written a message which is really profound as well. And what was lovely this morning, we had 3 gorgeous people from New Zealand and another gorgeous person from Sweden. So thank you. I love that it's global. She's got Morena. My golden heart is to see where I've always been, the amazingness of myself. Imagine speaking this way, the 3 of you that have already shared, imagine speaking that way compared to how we do speak in this 3D paradigm. If only I didn't do the negative, please. Or go to Lou. I've been working through this very thing with attempting to repair relationships with family. Beautiful, Lou. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then we'll go to Ruthie. Thank you so much, Ruthie. Into Golden Heart is I am already whole and complete. Yes. There is nothing to fix. Allow it to come to me and be open to receive. Ruthie. And like Ruthie just said, and I shared that if we're in that space, we'll call it headspace, but it's not really headspace. If we have that awareness, we are whole and complete, nothing to fix. It comes to me, be open to receive. So absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Ruthie. And then let's go to Maud.
Good evening from Sweden.
Evening.
Yeah, this one was, I love who I am, and so, but what I'm thinking about, because I have 5 children, and I always put them first, so I have not shown them who I am, because I have tried to give them the best so they can grow. So I have not shown them me. So they used to say, now my daughter used to say, "Oh, Mama, I know you." And I always say, "No, you don't know me." Because they don't see the real me. Because when I'm with them, I always do things for them. I don't show me. Do you understand?
Oh, yes. Yes, yes.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking about today. Thank you.
Maud, that is very powerful. Very, very powerful. And thank you. And it won't be just, as Maud said, it won't be just family. It could be at work. It could be with a friend, even. It could be whoever. And sometimes we don't even show ourselves who we are. And that's where, if you invite this in of you don't heal by becoming someone new or different or a mask or whatever for outside or even yourself, and you embrace you and love who you've always been. Share it, show it, shine. It's called shining brilliance. And if they don't like it, whoever they is, that's okay too. That's no problems. Never make yourself small for anyone or anything. And never make yourself small because it is not being the example of what's possible. Maud, so that was amazing. All of you are amazing. I thank you so, so much. Quite a deep masterclass this morning as we're in autumn, Southern Hemisphere, which is starting to wind down because we go in an evolutionary process. And for those in the Northern Hemisphere, it's like, I'm birthing me. It's like, hi, everyone, this is the real me. So no matter whether we're in Southern or Northern Hemisphere, it always aligns. So thank you. And remember that there's nothing to fix. You're already perfect, just in different stages of remembering. I've written that in every book. I'll write them in every book as well. So thank you so, so much, everyone, for being here for Mr. School Masterclass. And I can't wait to see you very soon. Please note, though, as of next week, we actually are 1 hour forward, backwards, something for those in Queensland. We are at 6 a.m. Please check the time zone. We are at 6 a.m. because we're going to be going into daylight savings. We're starting early next week, but at 6 a.m. And then we'll have to check the time zones, guys, because I don't know what it is. That following weekend is daylight savings. So we changed time zones. Next Monday is 6 a.m. So thank you guys. Have a great week.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jane.